I'll give you some of my highlights, and you can tell me whether you agree, you disagree, or some of your highlights. Quinn Ewers looked really sharp. Zach Wilson looked okay. Ollie Gordon the second, you think he should be running back number 2. I think he's still battling because they're saying he's not getting a lot of carries in practice.
He
But
should get more carries in
I
practice.
think he should. I think he's equipping himself very well in the games. And if he's a gamer, then
It's
let's
just
go.
there's just certain things about certain players or certain athletes.
They have it.
They have like when the ball's handed to him, there's a shot that there's a good chance he's gaining at least no more than 3 or 4 yards, but it can go. He'll break tackles, and it can go for more. I don't see that with Jalen Wright, bro.
I've yet to see it.
But with like the minute Ollie gets it, he's like, oh, if he gets past his tackle, yeah, he's getting at least 6, 7, 8, maybe more yards.
Ollie Gordon the second has that certain, as we say in French, je ne sais quoi. I don't know what, but he has got skill. Remember his junior year, he was a Doak Walker winner over at Oklahoma State. He had a kind of a bad year his senior year. That's why his stock, fell in the draft. He looks like he's the real deal.
If he had left last season, he could have been a higher pick.
Yeah, he had a great junior year. Right. He was the running back he was Doak Campbell winner. He won that. Was it Doak Walker?
Doak Walker.
He was the national running back of the year, 1,700 yards. A little bit of a slip in his senior year. He drops, maybe serendipitously, the Dolphins might have found one. Hey, so far these draft picks have not looked bad. Zeke Biggers, 7th round pick out of Georgia Tech. He looked okay, jamming up the middle, being tough in the trenches. But yeah, Ollie Gordon the second does look like, and I mean, not to hate on Jalen Wright, but Jalen, 4 carries, 4 yards, and that's being generous. By some estimations, 3 yards.
I have 3 yards on ESPN.com.
With your chance to shine, Jalen Wright, and I don't care, you could say the offensive line is bad, blah, 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 but man.
Because here's the thing, Dan. As good as Devon Achane is, he is still a smaller back.
He's one of those guys you use for outside stuff, outside the tackles.
You want the ball in his hand as long as there's space and gaps and for him to move around.
I'm all about some thunder and lightning.
But if between the tackles on the 3rd and 1, when you have to run behind your guard or your tackle, I know one thing. If Ollie Gordon's going forward, there's a greater chance you're getting that yard than the other running backs.
It's one of those things, man. And we've had our troubles, like we said, in the red zone, especially inside the 10. We did it again. We had to kick another field goal at some point. That stuff happens. But now you got a big guy that can get you a yard, get you 2 yards when you absolutely need it, maybe even in the cold weather. Yeah, I will like say that.
We all know he is not going against the ones, so
that's fine.
But that's fine. But there's just something with the optics.
Jalen Wright wasn't going against the ones today.
And that's a fact. There's something with the optics. When you see Ollie Gordon get the ball, you think there's positive things will happen.
There's some electricity whenever he touches the ball, yes. Now, Tanner Conner, unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to rely on him more than we initially thought at the tight end position. 6 catches today. He is an athletic guy. He does have some stone hands sometimes, but and then, of course, the third receiver, because we know Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, but Theo Weiss Jr. looked great. Dwayne Eskridge, D. Eskridge, as we like to call him. And I think Taj Washington, I think he's just a badger, man, as they would say. Not the honey badger, but a badger. He looks like he's tough, man. He looks like he's going to go out on the middle and just catch passes and put his body on the line. We like Taj Washington. So those are some of my takeaways. Also, I got to give front 7. It looks like they got something going on. And Willie Gay Jr. also out of the linebackers. Once again, he's one of the front 7. And, of course, I'm really high on Kenneth Grant right now. I thought Kenneth Grant and Willie Gay Jr. from the get-go kind of set the tune.
Willie Gay got in there. I will say this. You've been mentioning his name. You've always said that this was a great addition to the Dolphins team. And if you've talked to all the reporters and everybody that's been out at training camp, that's the one name you hear all the time. Who's been putting in the work, who's always having a good day at practice. You cannot go a day without mentioning Mr. Gay's name. So great addition to that linebacking core.
And a couple of things about Willie Gay Jr. 2 Super Bowls with the Kansas City Chiefs. So he knows a thing or two about winning and playing well. Played with the Saints last year. He said this was the only team that offered him a contract. So you think he's playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder? I think so. So, and I thought Zeke Biggers in the middle. Of course, he's a 7th round pick. He was playing late in the game. I thought he equipped himself well. There was one other guy that really, really excited me. When I say really, really excited me, once again, I don't want to get too Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips, one of our other rookies out of Maryland, D-line. The D-line played front 7. Look, front 7, Quinn Ewers, Ollie Garden II. Those are my big highlights of the game. I would say that. And of course, you got your other great highlight too.
What
the interception at the end, which is fantastic.
But I'll tell you another great highlight. Nobody's gonna even, because when I saw it happen, I went to you. I was like, wait, they have a punter? I forgot who the Dolphins punter was because they in the first 2 years of Mike McDaniel, they were scoring so many points, and he has a habit of going for it on any 4th down.
Right.
But what's his name?
Jake Bailey is going to be
Bailey.
I hate to. They say there's a punter battle between Jake Bailey and Ryan Stonehouse. Now Ryan Stonehouse comes over from the Tennessee Titans, which now the new special teams coordinator coached him previously. It's not a competition. Jake Bailey's been with the team, and he outpunted the hell out of Ryan Stonehouse today.
2 punts, 109 yards, longest being a 59-yard. That really put Detroit back in the.
And one inside the 20.
And then another one inside the 20. Ryan Stonehouse, 2 punts, 80 yards, just average 40. His longest punt was 42. So that's the end. No, that's nearly a 20-yard difference of.
And you got the familiarity with Jake Bailey, who's been on the team. Jason Sanders, he's going to be holding kicks for him. There's no competition.
But that was crazy because you said, yeah, this is the only time you're going to see him really most of the spree. And I'm like, you know what? As much as we ripped this team, they don't really punt that much. They're always driving in the red zone or having an opportunity to score some points. So, but I just thought that I was like, hey, you know what? There might be games, especially in the cold and late in the season, where your special teams is going to have to come through. And I don't think anybody has a problem with Jason Sanders anymore and his long distance field goal kicking.
No, he's great.
I think we're pretty much safe. If it's 50, 55, Jason can hit it. It's an 80% chance Jason Sanders can hit it. And to know that you have a punter now who could, if by any chance you have to punt the ball, he can punt the ball and pin the opposing team, in their red zone, on their 8-yard line, which means if the Dolphins front 7 get to the quarterback, they can put their offense in a short field. That's critical.
Absolutely, man. Of course, the kicking game, we can get really, really high on that. Once again, got to be happy with Zach Wilson. He did look more poised. He did miss some throws, but for the most part, 15 for 23, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. That's what you want your backup quarterback. Quinn Ewers, that's exactly what you want in your rookie quarterback, a progression of 11 for 17, 116, 2 touchdowns, both of them, no interceptions. The only person I would say, Jalen Wright, you got to get it together, man. You want to be running back number 2. You can't let Mike Boone, Aaron Shamklin, and Ollie Garden II outrush you. You can't do that. And I know, they didn't run the ball very much in the first half. Once again, if you're going to be the number 2 running back, if you're going to be featured in this offense, I need more than 4 for 3, 4 for 4. And nothing really exciting or explosive at all.
Nope.
Need more. Need